Magic 87.6. Let's talk some tech right now with Matthew Dickinson. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Let's talk some tech. I love the way you're talking, Andrew. Love the way you're talking.
I know. See, we've got to get into it, Matt. Get into it. Loads to talk about. Now, sleep, it is definitely one thing that I don't get enough of. And now I can use this excuse with my wife, who says I just stay up for the sake of staying up, but it's technology's fault.
It's all technology's fault. So you've got now the convenient excuse because millions of Australians, you're not alone, Andrew, millions of Australians are not getting enough sleep. And they're all blaming technology. Well, not all, but probably most of them are blaming technology. And a lot of people go to bed at night, they tuck up in bed and get ready to go to sleep and play with their phone. And then when they wake up in the morning, the first thing they do is reach over and pick up their phone. So it's not a lot of time without their phone. 89% of respondents to this particular survey said that technology was having a negative effect on their sleep. That's a lot of people. And the younger you are, the worse it is. So in your age bracket, the 18 to 29-year-old bracket, 94% said that sleep was being deprived because of their technology. So it's a pretty dire sort of set of circumstances. The one that really concerned me the most, Andrew, through all the results when I read through this particular survey, was that 1 in 10 smartphone users said they've checked their smartphone during sex. What has the world come to?
I'm sorry. I'm all about multitasking, but no, that is the one job that you just don't go multitasking.
How would you feel being the other person halfway through, just catching the other person checking their smartphone?
I know, right? That'd just be like, I'm sorry, this is just not happening, is it? It's like, either you need the inspiration or I'm just giving up the game.
Maybe they're looking up some self-help advice. I'm not sure.
Could be. I don't know. Yeah, no.
So the experts do have some advice for us. They say, Don't rely on your willpower. Get the phone out of sight and out of reach. So if you have your phone on a charger next to your bed, for example, then don't. Put the phone out in the kitchen, out in the office, somewhere else, because if it's there, people are too tempted to use it. Reintroduce alarm clocks is another bit of advice the experts have had. Rather than relying on our phone for our alarm clock, which many people do, or even their watch for their alarm clock, have a good old-fashioned alarm clock that's got the time on there. You set the time and it rings in the morning when the time goes off. Just be careful of daylight saving time because many of those alarm clocks don't automatically reset during daylight saving time like a phone does. So a couple of bits of advice there, and even get to the point, and I thought this was a bit too drastic, even get to the point of maybe having a dumb phone rather than a smartphone, rather than having that at bedtime to play with that. I thought that was going too far.
I've gotten to the point now, Matt, where I actually turn the Wi-Fi off, but when I go to bed, I could just go into the settings, because seriously, I was asleep at night and I would get email notifications, or you get a Facebook notification because Messenger could just turn you on as active and all that. I had some people in the UK that I knew that once buzzed me at 2 a.m. And I'm like, what are you doing, man? It's like 2 a.m. They're like, oh, we were just having a group of people and we thought we'd just ring some random bit. I'm like, yeah, I'm going, man.
And they knew exactly what time it was in Australia.
Yeah, of course they did. Of course they did. The biggest thing in, the century, did you say it the other week, Matt? And look, a lot of people don't realise this, but they used a secret crime app.
They did. It was pretty cool, actually. I like the idea of this honour amongst thieves, but that's gone out the window. There was actually a hacker, someone that they'd caught being a hacker, who was actually used in this particular sting, where he created an app. And this was an app to use for secret messaging among underworld figures. So people that are organising drug drops, people that are organising hits on people, they're all using this particular app. Now, unknown to them, because it had been created by this hacker and had been planted in some of these communities, the police, the FBI, various agencies around the world were sitting there watching all of these messages. How silly do they feel now? So the app was called Anom, A-N-0-M, and it was basically an encrypted package that was on a jailbroken phone, so one that had the normal operating system removed and another operating system put on there. So often referred to as a jailbroken phone. So it was used, and again, what a great concept to use an app that people are using to message around. And it's just like sitting there listening to exactly what's going on. And from a result of all that, they basically had some raids, and this happened in multiple countries around the world, essentially at the same time, to take advantage of the fact that they had all this information. They wanted to make sure that other people didn't find out about it. They didn't want the word to spread. So a great sting. No one in the US was arrested because of some privacy issues, which sounds very interesting. But people in Australia were arrested. People in Canada were arrested. 16 countries around the world did simultaneous raids on these various people using this particular app. So for any of your listeners out there that have got the Anon app, get rid of it now.
Absolutely. All right, the wearables market, it continues to explode, and Apple's planning some new future releases, man.
Yeah, they've got some pretty cool features coming up. I remember way back when I was in a sports store one time and I said, I find it a pain putting on a chest band to be able to check my heart rate. And the young salesperson said, they'll never have something that will allow you to check your heart rate without having the chest band on. Well, how wrong was he? I mean, it did probably take 20 years before he was wrong, but we've obviously got watches that now check your heart rate. Watches also can do ECGs, but Apple's planning on doing blood glucose, which I just find amazing because normally you've got to prick your finger or take a small blood sample to check your blood glucose. So for anyone with diabetes that's got to do that on a regular basis, that would be there you go. That would be a major breakthrough. And body temperature sensors. And we know from one of the articles we did last week, Andrew, that checking body temperature is a good way of having early detection of certain viruses, including COVID-19, certain things that are changing, and getting onto it early if you can pick up a body temperature change early. So these are features coming to future Apple Watches. Probably not this year. The Apple Watch that will be released this year on their annual release cycle, probably around September, October, it'll be released this year. It'll probably just have an improved screen, improved ultra-wideband support, but not some of those features like blood glucose and temperature. And blood glucose, I found that fascinating. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but I'll be interested to see when they finally announce that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as I said to you, me from type 2 diabetic, that will be a huge feature for a lot of people because the bane of my existence is having to do that every day.
Yeah, well, there you go.
That is just hassle. I just hate it. I don't like needles, Matt. I know I'm as a diabetic, you should get used to having needles and stuff, but I'm just a big girly man and I go needles. I go, again, this. The nurses at clinics kind of get freaked out by my actions because they go, are you okay? And I just put my arm out and I go, can you just do what you have to do? I don't want to know about it. Just go. And then, see, I've hit the microphone. I've done it because I get so nervous just thinking about it.
Yeah, well, look, you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there who have a bit of a fear of needles or a complete phobia of needles. So being able to check blood glucose without having the needle sounds like a very cool thing, unless the watch comes with little needles underneath it that stick into your skin. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I hate them with a passion. I absolutely hate them with a passion. Now, everyone's going out buying Windows 10. That's the latest operating system for PC, but I hope everyone's sitting down for this, Matt, because
they've announced the end of support for Windows 10. Now, so you've got a couple of years up your sleeve. 14th of October 2025 is when support will officially end for Windows 10. And when support officially ends, it basically means there'll be no new features. If they find a major bug, they'll still fix it, but Windows support will finish. Now, on the flip side of that, when they announce that support finishes for a particular product, it means there's a new one just around the corner. So Windows 11 should be announced within weeks now. There's been a few little hints from Microsoft. They've got things like 11-minute trailers coming out. They've got things like little windows with the number 11 kind of in the shadow of the windows. They're talking about making releases on the 11th of a month. So they've got a few little subtle hints along those lines. but they haven't quite announced it yet, but presumably it won't be too far away. Windows 11 will be announced. This will be a major revision. Now, back in the old days with Microsoft, they used to have a major revision of their operating system come out every couple of years. Now, it's been a fair while for Windows 10. It's been probably 7 years since Windows 10 came out, so it's been a long time since it came out, but they've done major releases of that, major updates to that twice a year. So they've kind of changed the way they do things.
There you go. This is going to be a pain around here, Matt. I've only just changed the radio station computers to Windows 10. Now we've got to bloody do it all like brick.
Yeah.
You know how hard Bill Gates it is to fix a radio station's on-air computer while trying to keep it on the air?
You've got a bit of time up your sleeve yet, so you've got 4 years to plan for that.
That's not the point, Matt. It's the hassle of having to do it.
It is.
That is the issue.
But Microsoft would blame it all on you because they would say consumers like you demand new products, new services, new features.
No.
Therefore, they have to bring out new operating systems.
Seriously, Matt, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here. Before we upgraded to Windows 10, we were running Windows XP, and so people still rave about Windows XP. So how about you just upgrade that one, Bill Gates, because that one actually worked flawlessly. The other ones you've had the last kind of 15 years, not good. I was going to use another word, but I can't use it on the radio. Now, this is kind of interesting as well. In the US, you got one of the largest mobile carriers offering discounts if you get vaccinated. No way.
Yeah, and obviously the US government's failing here. If they can't get people vaccinated, if they can't get enough people vaccinated, you'd think the government would fix the problem. But Verizon, who is, as you said, the largest mobile carrier in the US, they're offering discounts to encourage you to get vaccinated. And this is on various accessories, various products. So if you come in and say, here's my proof of vaccination, you get a 10% discount on accessories. And that'll stack if they've got other offers at the time. That'll stack with those offers. So it means that you start to get things pretty cheap. And one example they gave was a set of AirPods that in the US would sell for $250 US dollars. They're discounted down to $180, including a sale on at the moment and the 10% discount for your vaccination. Now, I'm not sure how you have to prove your vaccination. I'm not sure what you've got to produce to actually prove that you've been vaccinated, because you can do it in-store or online. And they're also offering this to first responders, nurses, teachers. It might be a bit of a marketing gimmick. Maybe it's something where they're working with the US government to try and help all of the US get vaccinated. But for many people, going and getting a free vaccination would be as good a reason as any to go and get a discount on a set of AirPods as it would be to, hey, protect your health.
Yeah, and now that Apple has that new oral kind of Dolby surround thing in there, you can get it from both. You can just get everything filling your head.
That's right.